Gioteck, maker of gaming headsets, controllers, gaming chairs and whatnot. Joining me today is Brandon from the clan Section 18. Hello Brandon.
Hi Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. You're going to be showing us the Blitz mode from Call of Duty Ghosts, is that right?
That is right. Well, that's what's on the screen anyway.
Exactly, that does help. And what map are we doing this on?
Strike Zone today.
Okay.
Blitz on Strike Zone.
Tell us all about Blitz for those who haven't played it.
Oh, well, you summed it up quite nicely earlier. It's essentially British Bulldog. So you've got two end zones. See, I'm making all these sport references today. So you've got two end zones, and basically your objective is to run straight into the enemy's base and slide, knee slide, or just run or walk into the goal, and that will score you a point for your team. But after you score a point for your team, there's a countdown reset on the zone of about 10 seconds, so you can't enter the zone to score more points for your team in that time. But then once it resets, you can rush again and just score zones. And there's 2 rounds. It's first to 8 each half.
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
And yeah.
And the kills you get in the game, obviously you get personal XP for that. Do they contribute to the score in any way whatsoever, or are they just personal?
No, it's just personal score. The only way to score for your team is to get in the zone.
To get in the zone, and typical tactics. Obviously, there are flanking tactics, especially on this map has some really good places to duck and hide and try and avoid detection, but also going as a group and in effect letting people take the hit. It's similar to a sort of a bodyguard mode. You decide which one or two are going to be the ones that make the final zone before you go in, and then you circle them and let the other players try and take the hits with those final players doing the sprint at the end.
Definitely, it's more of a flanking game mode. So like the middle of the map, there's going to be people lying down for cover behind like silly head glitches really that shouldn't be in the game, but they are. And they're always lying down the middle trying to get the best line of sight. It's really chaotic. So yeah, if you work well as a team, so like you're playing with one or two of your friends, try and flank around one of the sides to try and get to the zone. If you try and sneak around behind them, they'll be least likely to expect that than if you're running head on at the zone.
And in terms of defensive tips, you would similar to actually on another one of our videos, search and rescue, I think it was. You could have a couple of people sitting back and then some people patrolling those flanking zones specifically.
Well, definitely. If you're in a party of 6. Then I'd recommend, definitely playing the party of 6 to start with, because it's a lot more fun, and you obviously win a lot more because you're all friends, you all know where the enemies are.
Yep.
But I'd say if you have 2 people back at the zone, sort of one looking at the left hand side, one looking at the right hand side, and then like occasionally you guys swap over if you get a bit bored, because that way you're covering most area, and they're less likely to score if you're going to be back at the zone, right? Because everyone thinks, oh, if I rush towards the zone and score, then we can score immediately afterwards and it'll be fine.
Yes, but as one, there's the cooldown time.
There's definitely the cooldown, and if you know how Blitz works, which I'm sure most of you do, because I mean it's been in the game. This game has been out about 6-7 months now, and but if you know about the cooldown, then you can time it well. So like if you've got 2 people attacking and you're going down the left hand side, if you let one of you, once you've cleared out the zone, one of you go in, but the other hangs back a little bit, rather than kind of running about like a headless chicken in the enemy's base, trying to wait for this cooldown. If you hang back and play a bit more conservative, and then like duck behind corners or sit in like some head glitches, and then when the zone resets, we can even wait until your friend comes back after he scored, because once you get scored in the zone, it takes you back to your own spawn. So if your friend, he scores and then he comes back up to support you again, and then you go and score the zone, that'll be much more beneficial than, I don't know, rushing and then potentially not getting 2 points.
Absolutely. In effect, what you're saying is, let's say you've got 2 people sitting at the back, then then the other 4 people are all trying to get in the zone. One of them gets in the zone, that one automatically respawns back in your zone. That then releases one of the guys in defense to start moving forward. By the time he gets there, the countdown probably would have ended. Meanwhile, the other 3 people who were all attacking, they didn't automatically respawn because they didn't actually get in the touchdown zone. But as opposed to them just hanging around the area of the enemy touch zone and not knowing where to take cover and being shot, they actually could start tracking back as well. So that in effect you should immediately go into a defensive zone because you can't score and the other team can score. So immediately drop back, go into defensive mode, then let 2 people stay back again, rotate it round, and then start pushing forward.
That's right, it's definitely a team game. I wouldn't recommend it if you're playing solo, because it'll be very hard to keep coordinated with the other team, especially if you're not communicating.
This is a point we're probably going to make over all of the set of 4 videos we're making, which is that more and more Call of Duty is a team game. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Titanfall recently, and that's a team game too. But actually, as an individual, you can make a big difference. But Call of Duty, it's so tight. It's so tight. You really do have to be talking and playing with people who you get on with and who are willing to, cooperate.
Otherwise, you end up like the enemy team here who have just quit the game.
Well, there you go. Total humiliation. Brandon, thanks for joining us and talking us through Blitz.
Thank you, Stephen, for having me again. Hope to see you soon.
See you soon.